What if I told you that Sir Isaac Newton, the man who gave us the laws of motion, was unknowingly speaking the language of ancient Indian philosophy? Imagine every apple that fell, every planet that moved, every collision in the cosmos, all explained not just through numbers and equations, but through timeless wisdom of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, Three Gunas. Today we are going to explore how a falling apple and the verses of ancient sages may be telling the exact same story, just in different languages. Newton lived in a time when it was already known that Earth attracts every object with mass equally. This wasn't just about how fast something falls. It was about a universal pull, an invisible connection between all matter. Sunlight and air moving in constant speeds didn't disturb this balance. They slipped through the world without pushing or pulling, without changing the motion of objects around them. But then, one simple event, that fall of an apple, caught Newton's attention. This apple wasn't just a piece of fruit, it is a messenger. It carried within the weight of mass, the speed of motion, and the sudden burst of impact. If you step away from the orchard for a moment and look to the east, ancient Indian philosophy offers us another way to understand the world through the concept of Three Gunas. Sattva, the quality of balance and harmony; Tamas, the force of inertia and resistance to change; and Rajas, the restless energy of movement and transformation. These aren't just poetic ideas, they are lenses through which we can view the entire physical universe. And here's where it gets fascinating. Every single law of motion of Newton described can be seen as a dance between these three gunas. Newton's first law tells us that a body will remain at rest or keep moving at a constant speed in a straight line unless acted upon by an external force. This is Sattvic equilibrium in action, perfect balance. Imagine a spacecraft drifting through the silence of deep space. If there is no resistance, no displacement, no friction to slow it down, it will keep gliding forever unless something disturbs it. Light behaves the same way, moving undisturbed, carrying pure energy and information. In this state, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas are in complete harmony. Their effects cancel out to zero. No rotation, no force impact, a stillness in motion. But what happens when the balance breaks? That's when we step into Newton's second law. The moment force become unbalanced when, for example, F1 plus F2 not equal to 0, the motion begins. In the philosophical sense, Rajas awakens. There is movement, rotation, acceleration, and here Tamas plays its role too. The heavier the object, the more stubborn it is, the more energy it demands to be set into motion. Think of that apple again. If it's small and light, it falls gently, but make it heavier or let it fall from a greater height and the impact goes dramatically. The law doesn't just apply to falling apples. It governs the spin of planets, the rotation, the orbits of moons, and the turning of massive gears on Earth. The greater the mass, the greater the resistance, the more force needed to set the dance in motion. Finally, Newton's third law closes the cycle. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. This is the universe restoring balance. Sattva returning to center stage. If you push the earth, however tiny the effect, it pushes you back with equal force. No net movement, no unclaimed energy, everything is accounted for. It is dynamic equilibrium, balance through interaction, motion that returns to stillness. Even the mathematics behind Newton's idea mirrors the philosophy. The motion can be represented as a wave. For example, S is equal to sine omega t. The first derivative is velocity, shows us how fast it's moving. The second derivative is called acceleration, reveals something deeper. The sign changes, motion reverses. It is the cycle of gunas made visible. Rajas initiates the movement, Tamas resists, Sattva restores the balance. This is the cosmic rhythm, repeated in every form of the orbit of galaxies to the swing of a pendulum. So, I believe perhaps Newton wasn't just discovering the laws of motion, perhaps he was unknowingly rediscovering an ancient truth. One of the Indian sages had been speaking of for centuries, whether described in the language of mathematics or the poetry of philosophy, the message is the same. The universe is a dance of balance, movement, and resistance. Science and spirituality are not opposite, they are partners. Two storytellers describing the same grand performance from different seats in the cosmic nature. Newton made the apple, but India may have already made the truth. And when you see both perspectives together, the world isn't just a machine running of laws. It's a living, breathing story written in the language of the stars and the soul.